Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get into the big time word of YAHUAH. What y'all say? How about us go in? Let's do some big time breakthroughs. Let's have this preparation day because tomorrow's a Shabbat. Let's do this big preparation for the world to know that the Truth Scriptures is coming. It's happening day by day, and we've got a big project happening today and released today. And we're going to kick this off with the real Abariym, the real Hebrews, chapter 11. Let me make sure my mic is straight. I don't think I got my right mic on. Hold on, let me get my right mic on. Y'all tell me. Check. Hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll get my mic going here in a second. 1 second, guys. Check 2, 3. Check 2, 3. All right, I'm coming in. Check. Yep, it should be micing. I should be micing in stereo right now. Can y'all hear me good? Y'all give me a shout out if y'all can hear me good in stereo. I got the mic popping over here. I got to make sure I got my sound in because this is a big one. I'm going to wait till I get a confirmation from my brothers and sisters out there. Can y'all hear me good? All right. Thank you, Luya. Thank you, brother Luya. Let's send some shout outs. Look, we're all over the world. Y'all know that. It's so funny, man. My dad called me and said, this thing is going all over the place. I said, I know, Dad. All right. I said, I know. And then my best friend called me yesterday. He said, I got to tell you, when I heard you talking about this in 2007, it's been my best friend for over 28 years. He goes, his name is Scott. Y'all going to get to meet him. Brother Scott calls on YAHUAH. He says, when you brought up this thing with YAHUAH back in 2007, he goes, I'm just like, all of a sudden, it's just exploding ever since you started hitting these, just putting the video content out. And then especially in the past 2 months since you went live, he goes, it's starting to spread everywhere. I said, I know. I said, it's gone. YAHUAH is making his move, and we are part of it. And the Truth Scriptures, it's just amazing what's going to happen as these begin to release. And when you guys get your hands on the entire book of Abariym later today, we're in our final stages of review. So it's going to be later on today. Early this evening, we're going to do a second live, and I'm going to be going through details about how you get access to that. So again, it's getting ready to be on. So let's send some shout outs. Who we got in here before we get going, man? We got Sister Annette, Brother Sean, Affinia coming in from South Africa. We got Mike, Colorado. We got Nia from Minnesota's in the building. Duran, Miami. We got Tiffany Jackson, Mississippi. Sherry Harrod over in Frankfurt. Darrell Williams, where you coming in from? Darrell, put where you coming in from. Brooklyn, New York is Rush. Rush is in here. My wife is in here. Lena, I got my man Robert Arinson from Portugal's in the building. Yeah, Annette, Indianapolis, Ebony, Colorado with Joe, Colorado, Malibu, California. I think that's Mark. Yeah, that's Mark. Adina, what's going on, Adina? Aaron Cruz coming in from Pennsylvania. Duran, this is incredible watching y'all come in from everywhere. Marcel, where you from? Come on. Asheville, North Carolina. We got Patrice in the building. Sweet Pea. Diane, Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah. Elisa, Seattle, Washington. Luya coming in Melbourne, Florida. Y'all look at this. Early in the day where I'm at. Yeah, we going in. Yamani coming in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah. New Jersey's in the building. Donna, I see you. Okay. Yeah, I got Leon in here. Ryan from England. Got England representing. Europe, look at that. Missouri, we got Randy out in Missouri. Yeah, Aaron's over in Pennsylvania. Daryl's over in Washington, D.C. Cheryl and Dunnell in Florida. Look at this. That quick. All right, y'all ready to go in? Might as well just dive all the way in and get it. So we're setting this up for what's going to happen later today. So this is a special excerpt which is going to be made available as a free download along with the first chapter. So the first and the 11th chapter, we got these ones in the building, are going to be over on the Promote the Truth site underneath the Truth Scriptures. You'll be able to see it over there. But today we're going to have a digital platform that releases all of Abariym. That's Hebrews, from the first chapter to the 13th chapter. And you're going to have, and listen, everyone that is a package member, we got two things we're rolling out. We're rolling out just the scriptures themselves, which is all the book of Abariym. And we're rolling out that with the power tools. Now, I'm going to tell you what the power study guide and the tools, this will have an incredible write-up. So you'll be able to have a write-up to be able to get dialed in on what is each one of these chapters talking about. So we've already done the dial-up for the first one. Now, that's also going to come with me doing a video on each chapter. So we'll be adding that. So it's going to be very alive. It's going to be it's a living project. And as more comes and shines, we'll add more to that platform. And it don't cost you a dime if you're a package qualifier, which means you are bronze over at TSNT. So look at the screen, tsnt.org, go over there. And if you're one of us that really wants to support the project, we talked about what we're doing, how we're getting the word out there, right? Not only are we translating, we're marketing. We're doing kingdom business, like my man Daniel Bacote says. We got to do kingdom business. So everybody hit the like button. Y'all heard what Rodney says? You got to hit the like. You got to hit the share. So everybody's just stop before I go in, hit like. How many likes we got? We got to have likes. Hit that little love button. The heart should be popping up. I see the hearts popping up on my screen over here. The 100s. We should have everything flying. And you got to share this to at least 3 different places, 3 different people, 3 different platforms. I don't care. Just share it. Be a disciple. Let's go make disciples out of all nations at the same time. So I'm going to pull up. This is exciting because I'm going to walk through this with you. And this is going to be kind of cool outside of, we're not rolling out with the Aramaic and the Abariy text. These are special things. It takes a lot of time to add these to documents and to proof it and screen it and make sure everything's dialed in. It takes extra time. So we're going to roll the Truth Scriptures out. It's not going to have the Abariym text and the Aramaic text, so the Hebrew and the Aramaic text. But in future editions, we will begin to add it. So when we roll it out, to hurry up and get it out there, so the world can be able to be completely changed. We're going to change the world with this, by the way. That's no doubt. So we're going to do that. So what I want to do is I'm going to load this document up. I got to load this document up, fam. Yeah. I have got to load this document up because this here, I believe this is going to revolutionize a lot of y'all's lives, as a matter of fact, because the word is active, it's living, sharper than any double-edged sword, right? And it's going to do some things to you. I should have had this already uploaded. I thought I was just going to share my screen, but we'll get a better picture if I share it from within the software. So I'm going to share it from within the software. So while that's loading, I want to talk to y'all about, oh, it's loaded now. Okay, good. Let's get it. 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 Aaron says if you purchase. No, see, you got it. Don't go towards. So Aaron, the TSNT, that's his project. So if you get this outside of being a package member, that doesn't go towards numbers over there at TSNT. But that's a great question. Just being fair to everybody that's over there contributing. All right. So let's go in, man. Let's just go in. Bam. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Y'all want to learn something? Y'all want to learn today? Let's learn. Let me get my screen blown up so I can read this with y'all. All right. I want to make sure I can read this with you. Okay. Now, you see that first 2 words? That describes the deal. Abariym, Hebrews, with Peshitta and Abariy text, the Aramaic and the Hebrew text with it. Now faith. Y'all see that? It's the 2 words. This is the kind of faith. If you maintain now faith, you're going to win. You're going to have now faith. That means the only time there is, what this is telling us, is that the only time there ever will be is now. You are not where you've been, and you are not where you're going. You only can be where you're at the present time. And how you lose power is you don't understand these first two words when you don't access and operate in your power. So in order to operate in full power, you got to be able to operate in these first two words. And that's right, Cheryl. We got to get you un-Greeked. So if you come into the Abariym, that's why I believe YAHUAH had us do this first. The Abariym, the original language, says, now faith is the reality of things that we hope for and the evidence from the things that we don't see yet. Now, the elders in the past were approved because they lived by faith, by now faith. See, the elders, so if you want to get approved, how many of y'all want to be approved by YAHUAH? See, you got to be able to live by now faith if you want to be approved. By faith, we understand that the ages have been created by the word of YAHUAH, so that the visible was created from what is invisible. Y'all following that? So everything you see comes from things that you can't see. That's where the faith comes in. By faith, Abal, son named Abel, offered a better sacrifice to YAHUAH than Cain, son named Cain, which showed that he was righteous. Since YAHUAH approved of his gift, you see. Now watch this. Even though he is dead, his actions are still speaking through the faith that he had. Even though he's dead, because he had active now faith, he's going down in the eternal books. We're reading about him right now. Right? So this is important to understand and to grasp and to accept. Let's go in. By faith, verse 5, I'm going to get tore up as I go in. I guarantee you, I'm going to be tore up. I don't know how y'all can watch this and not get tore up. Right? By faith, Hanuk, son named Enoch. Look at y'all getting all these real names. By faith, Hanuk. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate you. Now that goes towards the Truth Scriptures Project, Aaron. These super chats that y'all do, that goes towards it. Way to go. By faith, Hanuk was taken up so that he did not experience death. He was not found anymore because YAHUAH had taken him. He was given approval. See, there's the approval word again. He was given approval because he pleased YAHUAH before he was taken up. Now, look what happens, fam. Look what it's going to tell us what the approval is in the next verse. We learn what the approval is in the next verse. It says, it is impossible to please YAHUAH without faith. So to get approved, you must have now faith. Having some faith, you're not getting approved. Having partial faith, you're not getting approved. You got to have now faith. Anyone who wishes to get close to him must believe that he actually exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek after him. Now watch what this means. So you'll miss this if you don't grasp this. See, some of y'all go, well, I know he exists. Of course I know he exists. So I'm good there. No. See, if you knew that he exists and that he lives in you, then you would never worry. When you worry, you don't believe that YAHUAH exists. Does that make sense to y'all? When you're stressed out, when you get flustered, when you get out of your character, you're not believing that YAHUAH exists. Because if you believe he exists and you called on his name, then and you've been immersed into his name, that means he lives in you. And if he's in you, who can beat him? Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? If he lives in us, who can beat him? You see, when you allow YAHUAH to rule and reign with this kind of faith, disease goes away. Oh, snap. Did y'all hear what I said? Disease will disappear. It's a guarantee in the word, or the word is made to be a lie. YAHUAH will be made to be a lie. Because the question is, and everybody answer this in the chat, does YAHUAH ever get sick? Is it even possible for YAHUAH to get a disease? Is it possible? Is YAHUAH ever broke? It's impossible. Y'all understand what's going on here? This is why the Truth Scriptures and us breaking this down, the way we're breaking it down, and I'm going to break each one of these books down with the power tools and the power study that you guys are going to get. So over the time, I'm going to break each one down just like this. Right? YAHUAH does not get sick. He cannot get sick. YAHUAH does not get diseases. He cannot get diseases. And YAHUAH cannot be broke. Ever. So if you're broke, guess what's going on? It's your faith. You don't believe he actually exists, because if he's ruling and reigning in you, then guess what? He's abundant. He knows that he can have anything with the wish from his word. That's why this word thing is so important. Luya got it. Luya said, I'm going to be an ordained minister by the time. So that's right. I'm making y'all ministers in the real way of YAHUAH. Now watch. It's impossible. So how many of y'all understand now that we have to believe he exists the right way? We can't just go, we acknowledge him. What most people do that are even listening to me now is you acknowledge him, but you don't believe in him that he actually exists in you. Oh, wow. Let's keep going. Let's get some examples of some people who actually believed he is who he says he is. By faith. Naha. That's Noah. Now you got the right spelling of his name. By faith, Naha responded with righteous fear when he was warned about the events he had not seen yet. What'd he do? He built an ark. Excuse me. He built an ark. Can y'all imagine him? Hadn't been raining. He wouldn't build an ark, which saved his entire household. Now that's y'all. You're going to have to build an ark. The ark is you got to build you to be the right way with YAHUAH. And then he promised that your entire household will be saved. You got the faith to believe that? Everybody put in the chat, if you're ready to go, if you're 144, put it in the chat. I am the ark. Put it in there. I'm the ark that has to be built. It's me. I'm the one's going to save me. As for me and my house, we serve YAHUAH because I am the ark of my house. See, that's what the 144 going to do. They're going to understand that I am the ark. I'm the one going to get a lot of people saved. Right? And I'm doing so because I got the righteous fear of YAHUAH. And then what'll happen is you're going to start seeing entire households get saved because somebody in that house, they actually believe I'm the ark. I see y'all lighting it up now. Okay. Now we got the family going in. I'm watching the chat. Look, with this faith, he condemned the world. That's what's going on with us right now. Do y'all not understand that our faith is a witness against this world? We're rolling just like Naha inside of here with Promote the Truth. We're rolling just like Naha. Yes, we are. He condemned the world, and he became an heir of the righteousness that comes by true faith. Verse 8, by faith, Abraham obeyed when he was told to go to a place that he would eventually receive as an inheritance. He went out without knowing where he was going. Look at that faith. Yahuwah said, you got to leave this place. You got to leave this land. And then we find out later why. He would have ended up getting killed if he stayed there. Sometimes you got to leave where you're at. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you got to split. Now, you got to understand, you only do it if you got this kind of faith. Look, verse 9. By faith, he lived in the land as a stranger that was not his own. A land that had been promised to him. See, it was a land that had been promised. So he said, do I believe Yahuwah? He lived in tents, as did Yitzhak and Yaakov. So that's Isaac and Jacob. That's their real names and how you spell them. Who were co-heirs of the same promise. Now, I don't know if y'all got that part. We're the same with Yitzhak and Yaakov. We're the same. We are co-heirs with them. You want to know why? Because Yaakov had his name changed to what? Somebody put it in the chat and see if you spell it the right way. What did Yaakov have his name changed to? What did he have his name changed to? Blow your screen up if y'all can't see it good. But I'm reading it, so pay close attention. What did he have his name changed to? Ain't no J's back there. Ain't no E's in Hebrew. There's no E's in Hebrew. And there ain't no J's for sure in Hebrew. Come on, Patrice. Patrice, why are you rocking? Look at Sweet Pea. Everybody pay attention to Sweet Pea. Yisrael. And she spelled it exactly the right way. Yeah. Patrice spelled it exactly the right way. Yisrael. Now, why is that so important? Because from Yisrael comes the 12 tribes. And from the 12 tribes, we get into the lost sheep out there, part of the diaspora, right? So now, guess what we are? I'm telling you, it's almost a guarantee that if you love YAHUAH and if you are feeling this, you're from one of them tribes. So if you're from one of those tribes, you now are a co-heir of Yisrael, which was Yaakov. Are y'all understanding this? Y'all understanding this? So this is important. This is important. I love this. Are y'all with me? Like, I'm going to accept. Do you got the faith to accept what I'm accepting right now? I accept that I'm part of Yisrael. I'm a co-heir. I got that kind of faith. Yeah. Verse 10, Abraham was looking for a city which has a true foundation. Has true foundations. Y'all see what we're doing with getting this real word? We are looking for a city that has true foundations. We're tired of all this fake. Whose builder and architect is YAHUAH. That's what we're looking for, fam. That's why we're going so hard after the Truth Scriptures, because it's going to lead us to YAHUAH, the YAHUAH. Verse 11, by faith, Sarah. Sign named Sarah. There you got her name now. Look at these Truth Scriptures. Y'all, I'm telling you, you're not going to have these proper spellings in any other book out there consistent. You're not going to find one in the world. You want to know why? You got, this ain't a Greek thing. They are Pharisaized. You got Greek and you got people that are hooked on Pharisees, Judaism. So they can't get the spellings right because the Masoretes took them down the wrong road. But watch, by faith, Sarah received the ability to have a child, even though she was barren. I mean, she couldn't have kids. and was past the age for having children. Why? Because she decided to believe the one who made the promise. She decided to believe the one who had made the promise was faithful. Y'all see that translation right there? Come on, Ebony. You see it? The translation is key, because the Greek translation, it will tell you because she believed. It won't put that word in there, decided. You see, you're going to have a conflict if you don't do this the right way. Because if you are reading the Greek, it's going to say by faith because she believed. She didn't initially believe. You understand? Like many of y'all, like many of us. She did not initially believe. We know that when YAHUAH came and visited her, remember the three showed up? One was YAHUAH with two messengers, and Abraham ran out to see him, and they sat down, and YAHUAH said, this time next year, you're going to have a son with Sarah. And what did she do? She laughed in the tent. So see, she didn't believe at that time. But because we're going to do the right translation, now there's no conflict. See, one word can create a conflict. Not in the Truth Scriptures. Because she decided to believe. What y'all going to decide today? That's why this is so important, because you're going, oh, hold on. She decided. That means it was her choice. She decided to believe the one who made the promise that he was faithful. Come on, let's keep going. So, verse 12. Descendants were born. I'm going to fix that. Make a note, Lena. I need to fix verse 12. Take that E off. Descendants were born from one man, Abraham. And he was almost as good as dead. Abraham was almost as good as dead, all up in the years, right? The descendants came to be as many as the number of the stars in the heavens and as countless as the grains of the sand on the seashore. So the descendants were born from a man, one man, Abraham, that was as good as dead. Some of y'all, you've been in situations and right now things are tight on you and it's almost as if you're good as dead. But YAHUAH is here today to say, I'm ready to bless you. I'm ready to restore you. I'm ready to bring you back. And I'm ready to multiply you as much as the stars. If Abraham got it, we can get it. You want to know why? Because we're co-heirs. I believe that. Hallelujah. I believe I am from Yisrael. That's my great, 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 great. Keep going. Great, 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 great granddaddy. That's who that is. Has so much as passing it down to me. Are you going to get some of this? Come on. Verse 13. All these people died with their faith. How'd they die? With their faith. Even though they had not yet received the promises. So they didn't get all the promises. And there's a reason for that. But they visioned the distant promises that were to come and welcome them. Here's what they said. They said that they were strangers and foreigners on the earth. Y'all got that? How many of y'all felt that before? Like strangers and foreigners on the earth. How many of you felt like that? Yeah, I felt that. I feel it right now. Verse 14. People who say these kinds of things are seeking a country of their own. We want our own country. If they kept thinking about the country they had left, they could have returned to that country. But they desired a better country, a heavenly home. Therefore, YAHUAH is not ashamed to be called their YAHUAH, and he has prepared a city for them. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah. Who's with this? How many of y'all enjoying this translation? Verse 17, by faith, Abraham offered up Yitzchak to be sacrificed when he was tested. Abraham, who had received the promises, was offering up his only son, watch this, from Sarah. Go look at every translation you got now, and they got that verse wrong. Go pick up anyone you want to pick up right now. They got that translation wrong. They do not add from Sarah. They don't add that. And that creates a what? Contradiction. Because was Yitzchak his only son? Yes or no? Didn't he have a son with Agar, son named Hagar? Yeah. Yishmael. So how could the scripture be right that you've been reading that says he was offering up his only son? Y'all understand the contradictions? I'm doing this and showing y'all the criticalness of the tsnt.org project, what we're doing with the Truth Scriptures. I'm showing y'all this because you're going to be reading stuff like I was reading stuff, and I'm going, that's not right. He had another son. Why would they put that was his only son? And then you got to come up with excuses in your head. Oh, maybe because that was only son because of this or that, or has some special arrangement. No, just clear it up. Do the right translation. Go ahead. Go to any Greeked out translation. Go to any restored names version, and they're going to not have that verse right. Every one of them in the world got it wrong. Everyone. All right. Y'all see it? Verse 18. He had been told concerning Yitzchak, your offspring shall be named through Yitzchak. So what he reasoned, because YAHUAH told him, your offspring are going to be named through Yitzchak, and Yitzchak was still a boy. So Yitzchak hadn't had no kids. So Abraham reasoned in verse 19. So Abraham was certain that YAHUAH was able to raise his son from the dead. And in a certain way, he did get Yitzchak back from death. Because Yitzchak was good as dead, right? He was going to get sacrificed. By faith, Yitzchak blessed Yaakov, his son, who became what? Yisrael. And Ashu. Who's Ashu? Esau. Now you're getting the names right. By faith, Yitzchak blessed Yaakov and Ashu, son named Esau, concerning the things that would happen. Verse 21. By faith, Yaakov, when he was dying, blessed each of whose sons? Yusuf's sons. Who's Yusuf? That's Joseph. And he worshiped while he was leaning on top of his staff. That's showing that even in his last days, last part, that staff represents the staff that YAHUAH says, stretch it out, watch me deliver you, but also to always be worshiping till you out of here. Always be thankful, always be grateful to YAHUAH. Stop complaining, stop moaning, and you can come into his blessings. Verse 22. By faith, Yusuf, when he was, I got to get that fixed. Put that note. Verse 22, Lena. By faith, when Yusuf was near his end. There you go. When his end was near. I got that right. No, that's good. By faith, when his end was near, so he's about to die, told them about the departure of the children of Yisrael. See Yisrael right there, Israel. From Matzri. What's Matzri? That's Egypt. And he gave them instructions about how to bury his bones. By faith, verse 23, Masha, who's Masha? It's Moses. Y'all following along? By faith, Masha, verse 23, was hidden by his parents for 3 months when he was first born because they saw that he was a beautiful child and they were not afraid of the king's order. So people don't even tell that much about Masha's parents. They weren't afraid of that order. They knew that their son was special. Something was special about him. He was extra beautiful. Something going on. He's so beautiful that we got to hide him and something good is going to happen for us. I don't know. Good thing they had that faith. Verse 24, by faith, Masha, when he had grown up, refused to be called the son of Paro's daughter. Who's Para? Pharaoh. Y'all getting these right spellings. 25, because he preferred to be mistreated with the people of YAHUAH rather than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Oh yeah, now we're talking. It's going to keep building. Verse 26, he thought that being insulted, now watch this. This is a big one, right? Donna said the scripture book I got is all Greeked up. That's right. Y'all seeing it now. We got to tear it down. We got to tear the Greek and all this Judaism and all this Catholicism and Christianity. We got to tear it down. It's happening right now as I'm speaking. Hey, what did Masha think? Masha thought that being insulted for the sake of the Mashiach. See, most people miss that. That was coming. He saw it in him that the Mashiach was coming one day. For the sake of the Mashiach that was coming was of greater value than the treasures of Matsri, Egypt. He was looking ahead for a better reward. Woo! He was looking forward to a better reward. I'm going in, Gerald. You see me. Gerald right here with me. I'm teaching. 27. By faith, he left Matsri. He left Matsri without being afraid of the king's wrath. Some of y'all so afraid. What somebody else gonna do? What the government gonna do? What your mama and your daddy and what the people down at the church gonna do? The heck with them. And guess what he did? He persevered because he had what? Faith in the one who is invisible. That's the issue with a lot of people. You can't see YAHUAH. We can't see him. YAHUAH's got this set up going, do you believe me even though you can't see me like my people of old did? 28, by faith, Masha established the Pesach. That's the Passover, spelled right. By faith, Masha established the Pesach and the sprinkling of the blood to keep the destroyer of the firstborn from touching any of the people of YAHUAH. By faith, they went through the Sea of Reeds, the Red Sea, as if it were dry land. When the Matsrim tried to do this, they were drowned because they weren't with YAHUAH. They didn't have the faith in YAHUAH. So they drowned. And that's what's going to happen to everybody that doesn't listen to these words and take them to heed. You're going to drown. Let's get it. Verse 30. We only got 10 more verses. By faith, the walls, now look at here. The walls of what? Yerihu. What's Yerihu? Somebody put it in the chat. I bet you hardly any of y'all have ever seen that word spelled that way. What is Yerihu? Who gonna put it in the chat first? I'm looking. What's Yerihu? Jericho, y'all got it. Everybody's coming in there. There you go. There you go. Now y'all getting these right spellings. Imagine how y'all gonna be in 3 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now, when your language is all cleaned up. By faith, the walls of Yerihu fell down after they have been circled by YAHUAH's people for 7 days. By faith, Rahab, they call her Rahab, the prostitute, did not die with them that were disobedient because she had welcomed the spies in peace. Yeah, she welcomed the people of YAHUAH. 32. And what more shall I say? He's like, come on now. How much more you want me to break this down to you? How much more you want me to do? Watch this. And what more shall I say? Verse 32. I would not have enough time to talk about all the stories of Abariym. That's Gideon. Barak. Shamshun. That's Samson. That's how you spell Samson's name the right way. Shamshun. Yippatahah. Dewey, David. Shemuel. And all the prophets. See, I wouldn't have time to talk about all that. Why? Because through faith, they conquered kingdoms. This is what we get ready to do. Who's in? Who's ready to do this part? They conquered kingdoms, administered justice, received promises, shut the lions' mouths. Yeah. Shut the mouths of these lions. Hey, put out raging fires, escape being killed by the sword, from weakness were made strong, became powerful in battle, and destroyed foreign armies. Anybody in? I want to know if anybody's in on this. I claim this in the name of YAHUAH. I claim this in the name of YAHUAH. We're going to see miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And I'm going to tell you why here just in a second, why we're going to see miracle after miracle. Are you in? Put your 144s in the chat if you in. 144. YAHUAH is looking for just 144 people to start this thing out the right way. 144 soldiers, warriors in his word. 144. Now watch. I'm going to tell you why all these miracles are going to happen for us. I'm going to show you right now. Even more with miracles. Women receive their dead back to life. But this is the reason we're going to see miracles. Because we got to be prepared, have the mentality to do this next part. If it has to go down like this, it's got to go down like this. We'll see the miracles before all this happens. You ready? However, other people were tortured brutally. You got to be willing to count the cost now if you want these miracles. Because others were tortured brutally, but they refused to compromise so that they might gain a better resurrection. You got to have that mentality, and then we're going to see miracles. 144, like, I understand. It might just come down to this. Come down to what, Jay? You might be brutally tortured, but you got to refuse to compromise because you know you're going to gain a better resurrection. Verse 36, and still others had to endure being mocked and beaten. You got to have that mind mentality. Some were even put in chains and thrown into prison. You got to have that mentality. Many were stoned to death. You got to have that mentality. Some of them were sawed in half. You got to have that mentality. And killed with swords. You got to have that mentality. They moved around in sheepskins and goat skins. They had to get under cover. Many times, they were destitute, oppressed, and mistreated. And guess what? This get me emotional. Verse 38. The world was not worthy of them. The world is not worthy of those of us that are going to run the race like this. They even wandered in deserts, mountains, caves, and holes in the ground. But all of these people won approval because of their faith. Yet they did not receive the promise. Pay attention. Y'all got to pay attention to why they didn't get the promise. See, most people say, did YAHUAH leave them out? Did he hang them out to dry? Is that what happened? Verse 40 seals this for us. Y'all ready? This is why they didn't get the promise then. Because YAHUAH had planned something much better so that they would not be perfected until they were made one with us through Mashiach. We going in together. That's why he wouldn't give them. He said, the Mashiach's got to come. YAHUAH, Mashiach, Yahushua HaMashiach on earth. Now YAHUAH Mashiach on high is coming back to get all of us. That kills that when you die, your body goes somewhere. No. That would make that scripture obsolete. Robert said, I don't understand. Listen. YAHUAH said, I'm not going to give you everything you're supposed to get, the greatest stuff, because though I got to send myself as the Mashiach. When I come in and I go and I'm born and then I get killed and then I resurrect and I go back on high and then I pour my spirit out. That's the promised spirit. And that's why we're in such a special spot now. Because we got the spirit, him living in us. And so those that died these kind of deaths and didn't get the promise, they are waiting for YAHUAH to return, and he's going to pull us all together as one. We will be made one through Mashiach. So then the promise will be perfected. Y'all got it? Who's got it? You got that, Robert? Yeah. So that's why this is so important about YAHUAH coming back to the right people. And those of us that's got this right, we get to roll with Abraham. We get to all these great names that were talked about. We're going to be in the same vein with them. Perfected in Mashiach. Woo! This is off the hook. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. That's off the hook. That's off the hook. And I just realized that I didn't know that one I uploaded, I had already done a few tweaks to it. So it's already cleaned up on the platform. What y'all gonna do with this message? What y'all gonna do with this message? So if you in, you're gonna have to have that mentality. That's a fact. You're gonna have to have that mentality. If you're in with us, you gotta have the mentality. Like, look, I don't care if they saw me in half. I don't care if they call me whatever. Some of y'all crying and complaining about they don't understand y'all. We don't cry about that. Because we haven't yet had to face that kind of pressure. We ain't faced that kind of pressure. Y'all got to make your mind up. Are you one of these warriors for YAHUAH? And you understand the assignment? I'm telling y'all, it's all cleared up. The assignment is the Truth Scriptures. Everyone that's part of this fold understands that this word in its completeness has to get out to the world and it has to be spread everywhere. Everybody understands it. Everybody says, I'm supporting that and I'm not going to ever stop supporting that. Ever. Look, Universe Salvation, where do you rest? You don't, your rest is in him. You rest in your confidence in him. It ain't about resting now. It's about working. We rest on the Shabbat, which is tomorrow. We got work to do. It ain't about no rest right now. We got to get out here and get this word out here. It's about workers. Any of y'all want to rest? You do that like me on the Shabbat. If you want to rest where all this pressure's taken off of you that Satan wants to kill us, well, then guess what? You ain't one of them real ones, and you're going to get snatched up in that fire. Period. Now, when you die, you just sleep. Like if you die before YAHUAH comes back, you're just sleeping, chilling. All right. So I'm going to see y'all. I'm thinking we're going to probably hit that at about 6 o'clock. That's estimate. So I'm thinking somewhere between 5 and 7 o'clock. Big shout out to Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Warrior for YAHUAH. That goes towards your build up, Aaron. You're getting building up. Yeah. That's right. And we got new moon coming up. Hallelujah. Y'all on point. So get over to tsnt.org. Everybody, every day, stay on point. I'm going to keep reminding y'all. I'm never going to stop reminding y'all because we got to get more and more strategic. We got to go pour more and more funds into marketing like I was showing y'all yesterday. We got a 10 video marketing campaign that we're about to go do. It's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars to do it. But it's going to take off all over the place. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to call it before it happens. One of these high-profile celebrity type people, this word is going to get to them. They're going to watch the name video. They're going because real is what's coming in style now. And one of these big old name celebrity people, they're going to call on YAHUAH. And they're going to say, I'm coming out of the mouth of that beast. And it's going to take out. It's going to go extra fast. One of them going to do it. One. I don't know when. You're going to see millions and millions and millions of views happen. Just like that. So just continue to grow. Continue to build. Continue to believe. I'm going to see y'all somewhere between 5 and 7. And if you're in the Telegram group, you always get this message first. So make sure you're over at PTT. PTTgram.com. PTTgram.com. Make sure that's you over there. I'm going to see y'all in just a little bit. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this word. Hopefully this hits you. Hopefully you now have moved into now faith. And you're like, I believe YAHUAH exists. I've called on his name. He lives in me. Therefore, disease is going to depart my body. All the money and all the things that I need are going to come to me because YAHUAH lives in me. That's how you're going to start living and believing. Y'all with that? All right. I'll catch y'all here later on. Bye-bye.